been a lot of allegations over the last several months about all the fraud at Social Security Administration. Elon Musk, Doge, the president, the vice president have talked about millions of Americans or millions of people over 120 years old, 200 years old that are receiving Social Security benefits. Guess what? Not so much turns out not to be correct. I've talked about that. As soon as Elon Musk said there was millions of people receiving Social Security benefits, I went in there and I said, no, that is 100% incorrect. And guess what that was 100% incorrect. Those people were in a database that was not closed out because they did not have a death certificate, but they were not receiving Social Security benefits. Proof of that, all you have to do is go to the infamous Doge wallet receipts, and you can see that they closed out these records, but they found $0 fraud there. And another thing is they mentioned that there's 40% of people that call into Social Security are fraudulent. That again is a complete and total BS. They were misreading well. Intentionally, it looks like statistics that the Social Security Administration provided. They said of direct deposit fraud, 40% of the people attempting direct deposit fraud were using the phone to attempt that direct deposit fraud. That does not mean 40% of everybody that calls in and tries to change their address or, sets up an appointment or asking where my check is and all that stuff. 40% of those are not fraudulent, so there's a lot of misinformation out there. Doge, the current administration, Elon Musk, found zero fraud from the Social Security Administration, and before you start typing, is there fraud in Social Security in terms of people receiving benefits that are not supposed to be receiving benefits? Absolutely. Social Security finds fraud every single day. The Social Security employees, the Office of the Inspector General, there was just a gentleman in Houston actually worked for the Social Security Administration that committed fraud. That was an ongoing investigation that's been going on before this administration. They just arrested this person, and so he's going to be held accountable, but that wasn't found by Doge or Elon Musk. That was an ongoing investigation, and in my office, we had an employee, when I first started working at the Social Security Administration, that was kind of doing some nefarious things, and he was arrested. So it does happen. Yes, there's fraud in every organization: bank, Social Security Administration, the IRS, supermarkets, financial institutions. There's always fraud out there, but the authorities, the long arm of the law eventually gets to them. But the current administration, I have to correct myself now, the current administration did find somebody committing Social Security fraud. Finally, they found somebody committing Social Security fraud, and what did they do? They pardoned that person. So let's watch. This was an individual that ran some care facilities in Florida, and he was an executive, and he as running the company had hundreds of employees, and the employees would pay taxes and FICA taxes to Social Security and Medicare and all the rest of it. He was supposed to turn that money over to the IRS so it would be part of their Social Security record, and guess what? He decided not to turn that money over to the IRS and this whole security administration, and therefore who gets to pay for that? Because this person was pardoned. We do. So this person was convicted. He pleaded guilty. He says, yes, I did steal that money. And then his mother gave about $1 million to the president, and guess what? He was pardoned. So let's watch a little clip about this particular story. A new report from the New York Times reveals details about Donald Trump's pardon of a man convicted of tax fraud just 1 month after his mother attended a major fundraiser for the president's former nursing home. Executive Paul Walzak pleaded guilty to tax crime days after the 2024 election and was ordered to pay more than $4 million in restitution. So $4 million in restitution, he stole about $10 million, and therefore he's pardoned, so therefore he doesn't have to pay that to the IRS, and it doesn't go to the people that he stole it from. It doesn't go to their Social Security records, but those people will be made whole. Guess who will make those people whole? We will. The Times reports a pardon application submitted around the time of Trump's inauguration cited Walzak's mother and her support for Trump, claiming her political activity motivated the prosecution against him. Trump eventually granted that pardon, $4.4 million in restitution, and we should stress here he had pleaded guilty. This wasn't like a contested thing. He had pleaded guilty to 2 counts of taking tax, of basically payroll tax fraud. He had taken the taxes, the federal withholding taxes, out of the paychecks of his employees at these nursing homes and then $10 million worth, and then instead of giving them to. Alright, so you see the kind of we have two worlds here in America. It looks like we have those without money, and how do you protest if you don't have money? You go out on the streets, and sometimes people do some stupid stuff, as we see from the current footage, and from LA, the protest out there under the ICE raids and everything like that. So if you don't have money, then the only thing you can do out there is just walk and protest, and those people doing the stupid stuff. Burning cars, please stop that. It ruins it for those people that are actually protesting this. This is a situation that, every protest, there's always idiots out there that do stuff like this, but if you have money, then you don't necessarily have to go to the streets. Then I guess nowadays you go to Mar-a-Lago and you pay a bunch of money, buy a bunch of Bitcoin, and you have got your time with those, people that are close to the president, and you just might be getting a pardon. So the Social Security Administration has lost money because this person was pardoned, and therefore money had to come out of the trust fund to pay for that, those people, that weren't made whole. All right, so I also got a question here. I'm going to get into some of the questions. We're going to do the regular live Q&A. It looks like I already got a bunch of questions about all things Social Security, and I also have a video question. Remember my new website? On the bottom left there, you can click on that little question or comment and record a video if you got any particular question. My website is myggovexpert.com, and you can go in there and check it out, and I've got a free information and calculators on retirement disability survivor benefits, SSI overpayments, living overseas, misdunked living on Social Security alone. It's a new, a bunch of these just came live within the last few or 4 days, but if you have a specific question, you can join the live Q&A, which I do 3 o'clock West Coast time, 6 o'clock East Coast time, or you can click on that little question, and I've got another question that I'll answer here in a little bit, but let's get into the live here and see what kind of questions we have. Let's see. In Baltimore, Maryland, I'm getting tired of all these websites that sound good. It's like they are talking out the side of their neck. Okay, not sure. Yeah, let us know which ones you're talking about. I know there's a lot of people